Hello, welcome back guys to another video. For those of you that are new, I'm Felicia with Happily Ever After Living, and on this channel we talk about wealth, health, and self-development. So in this video I wanted to discuss with you guys how I'm using some of the same strategies that I used to pay off over $100,000 worth of debt to lose over 100 pounds. So this is a little lengthy one, so I advise grab a drink, some tea, coffee, something. We're getting into it. I do have some notes here because I want to be sure that I cover everything and that we stay on topic. So number one was that I just decided, just as I knew I was in debt for a really long time, I owed all of this money and had student loans, credit cards, all of that stuff. I was just paying the minimum payments, and it wasn't until I actually decided okay, I can be debt free and that I wanted to be debt free that I started to create a plan and kind of go from there. And same thing with losing weight. I've kind of let my health just kind of play in the background for the last few years, and it hasn't been until May 24th that I actually decided okay, I'm actually ready to create space and time in my life to actually attack this. So definitely the first thing that I recommend is that you have to decide. Number two is that I defined my why. When it came to getting out of debt, there were things that I was really sure of, and they were my strong whys. For instance, number one, I wanted to invite financial freedom and financial peace into our lives. Number two, I wanted a lifestyle that would allow our family to spend more time together, and that included travel. Number three, I wanted to be able to support my daughter through undergraduate so that she can graduate at least undergrad debt-free. Next, I also wanted my husband and I to be able to retire comfortably, and if God sees, grandkids to be in our future. I would love for us to be those grandparents that get to take the grandkids every summer. And I really wanted to be able to create generational wealth for our family. I just really wanted to change things and to give our kids and our grandkids just a little bit of a head start in life. So yeah, definitely be sure that you define your why, because I think that's what will keep you going on your plan, whether it be for weight loss or even with budgeting. So those were my whys for why I wanted to get out of debt. But also now, this time around, when it comes to losing weight, I have my whys for that as well, and they're pretty concrete, and they definitely keep me motivated. For instance, number one, I want to be fit again. I want to be healthy and fit, and I just want to be able to run for as long as I want to and not worry about getting tired or having any limiting issues. Two, I want to continue to I want to be in shape so that I can continue to be a physical therapist for as long as I choose to, versus my body choosing that for me. For instance, I don't want to be the therapist that has low back pain, or the therapist that just isn't able to move as freely as she or he may want to, because our job does require lifting. We have to lift and transfer our patients, and I would love for my body to be able to do that for as long as possible. My next why is that I'm also holding myself to a promise. I had said for years that once my daughter graduates, I was really going to focus in on my health and create space in my life so that I can finally lose the weight. I don't recommend waiting that long for anyone else, but it was just something that I had kind of played out in the back of my mind. So now I'm holding myself to that promise. The last reason is that I just really want to show other people that it can be done. I know that when I was paying off debt, watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts and hearing other people's stories, it really encouraged me, because before then I never knew that people could actually be debt free. You can live a life without debt. I had no idea, being honest. And even now, to lose 100 pounds, I know that there are people out there that need to lose 100 pounds or even more weight or even less, and just feel completely defeated, as if they've allowed themselves to go too far, or that they just can't rebound from that. And I would love to be able to show people that it is possible. And and one other thing is that eventually I want to do more health coaching too, more teaching about health and different diagnoses, chronic conditions, and different things like that. And let's be honest, like we live in a very superficial world, and you kind of need to look like you know what you're talking about. So yeah, that's another one of my whys as well. The third thing that I use to like get out of debt, which I'm also kind of using for this weight loss journey as well, is that I found a plan and then I modified it to my lifestyle and I stuck with it. For instance, I found Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, and I kind of like took it to what I felt would work in my life, something that I could keep up with, and I just stuck to that plan. And that is how I was able to pay off over $170,000 worth of debt. So with this, I kind of came across Bright Line Eating. I found that program and I immediately adopted that to my lifestyle, with as far as no flour and no sugar. And I have my main carbohydrate for breakfast. I'm sorry, with my breakfast meal. I have fruit twice a day. So yeah, there were just a few things in that where I was like, okay, these are the things that I can keep up with for the rest of my life. So this is what I'm willing to do, and just stick to it. Number 4, I started budgeting. I learned how to budget. So I started tracking and budgeting my money. I started paying attention to what was coming in, what was going out, and now I'm doing the same thing with my food. So even though I'm not necessarily counting calories, I am tracking the amount of protein that I'm getting. I measure my fruit. I don't eat more than 4 to 6 ounces of fruit, not 46, 4 to 6 ounces of fruit per serving. I have that twice a day, and I'm being sure that I am eating at least a pound of vegetables per day, because my nutritional consumption is very important to me. So be sure that you're budgeting so that you don't overspend as well as overeat. Number 5, I highly recommend that you find a way to ignore the distractions. Yes. So just as when you're paying off or trying to become debt free or whatever it is in your life that you're trying to do, there will be a lot of distractions. There will be people that think you're crazy. They'll question what you're doing. So yeah, you just kind of have to watch it a little bit. Like, I know that when I was paying off debt, people were like, girl, have you lost your mind? Like, no one understood it. And remember that when you're on a journey, no one has to understand it. Like, this is your journey. You're trying to better yourself, and you don't have to explain that to people over and over again. But there will be distractions, such as just a few that I kind of had listed out. Was that, for instance, when we were paying off debt, we got invited to vacations, and people would say like, come on, you can just go this one time, put it on your credit card, and you can pay it off later. Like, no. Or, you know, you may be at a family gathering, or you may be at work and someone's like, come on, you can insert whatever you want here that's off your plan. Like, whether it be, you know, eat a little piece of cake or eat a little of this and get back on your plan tomorrow. Like, people will definitely try to convince you that it's okay, or to do what they want you to do. And speaking of that, I think it's really funny that as a culture, as a society, like, we are so concerned with how other people spend their money, and we're also trying to tell other people what to put in their mouth. Like, that's just hilarious to me. But and I'm not referring to the people that are actually trying to help you, like the people that are supporting you and they're like, you know, pushing you along or giving you more information that may be beneficial. I'm talking about the ones that are just completely derailing you from your end goal. Ignore those distractions. All right, next tip and final tip, track and measure. So for me, this is what helped me to see my progress when I was paying off debt, and to see that I was actually going in the direction that I needed to. Like, for instance, I had these different charts that I would do, and each time I paid stuff off, I would cross it off or color in the lines, and that allowed me to see my progress. And now with losing weight, I'm actually doing the same thing now. Like, I weigh myself every Monday. I keep track of that on my calendar and my phone, and then that helps me to see like if there's areas where I need to tweak something, or if I need to, you know, maybe increase my water, increase my activity levels. So definitely be sure that you are tracking and measuring, and that you're actually going in the direction that you want in order to reach your goals. You guys, paying off over $100,000 of debt, that crap was hard. Trying to lose over 100 pounds, like both of those, like paying off debt took discipline, it took sacrifice, you know, and it took time. And it's the same thing with trying to lose weight. Discipline, sacrifice, and give yourself time, you know, be gentle with yourself. If you do fall off track, just jump back on. Like, allow the reasons that we discuss here, like your why, allow it to be greater than, you know, one day you fall off track and you just throw the whole plan away. Like, don't do that. I did that for years. Don't do that. Get back on track. You know, find a friend or someone that you can connect with that will keep you accountable and that will help you and support you. Join this channel. Like, I'm here for it. I'll be more than happy to help you guys as well. Hope you guys found these tips helpful. I'm also providing coaching for weight loss, health, as well as debt payoff and budgeting. So if that's something that would be of interest to you, I'll drop the links. I'll drop the link down in the description box. And also, I would love it if you guys would leave a comment, just share with me some of your goals. I would love that so much. And also, please subscribe to the channel. I know that lots of people are watching, but you haven't subscribed. So please, like, consider subscribing. And we're really trying to grow here and do some amazing things. But until next time, bye.